And I have to thank the guys up at 880. We sat down for days and days and days, and that took us exactly 40 seconds to come up with, guys. Everything else I submitted, they threw out the door. They said, this is the one that works. I want to welcome everyone out there to, this is the first, edition, or the first inaugural. I'm here with George Guevara and the rest of the team of the Ron Man Show. You've been hearing about this for weeks and weeks on end, and I finally took the plunge, bit the bullet, cut the deal, and drew the short straw, actually, and got the great 5 to 6 slot every Thursday. For those of you out there, we will be here every Thursday, 5 to 6, live on 880 a.m. And, of course, those of you can stream it on the web at www.880thebiz.com. Thanks, I was getting to that. Today we're excited because we're downtown at the Havana Club. And it's a bit early. We're going to be doing a mix of these shows. Are going to be a mix of live out and about in the city and also in the studio. We're going to take advantage of events when they're going on around town and piggyback on them. Although my show basically is an event, and I think we all know that. But we're very excited because tonight, following this show, actually, my show runs 5 to 6, and then from 6 to 7, we will have Tony and George will do their regular Thursday night live show here at the club, and we've got Mercy Hospital. Our Havana Nights kickoff party is tonight. Havana Nights is May 30th at Grove Isle. It's a great casino night. We get about 500 people out. Tonight's the kickoff party. For those of you out there, come on down to the Havana Club. It's open bar, and thanks, Carlos, one of our guests is showing me his leg. It's open bar and tons of food. It's great, complimentary parking. Please come down tonight. It's running from about 6 to 10. But let's talk a little bit. We're going to introduce. We've got some great guests lined up for today. First, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the world. What's going on? How'd the market do today? It's probably down about what? About 100 or so. I think down about 102, 103.
I haven't even checked
down
yet.
Today. I heard that's pretty happening. I guess nobody screwed up. Geithner didn't do anything wrong, and that's why we only went down about 100. But I hear some good things are going on. There's a lot more confidence out there in the market, and people are a little bit happy. I heard the stress test from the banks. How'd that work out? They said that the banks are.
Well, the banks are saying that they have resources to take care of themselves, but nobody still believes
I
them.
thought the stress test at the bank was when they went to see how stressed out everybody is that works at a bank.
No, I don't think. I mean, we would hope that would be it, but that's not it.
We've talked a lot about this, Tony. George, with Tony, we talked a lot about what's going on Wall Street, and we're down here in Miami. We're not insulated from that. The reality is that the smartest people in the world supposedly got us into this mess. We should let them try to get us out of it.
I don't think they can because they've set it up. They set it up that way.
We're not giving them a shot. We're not giving them the opportunity. Something that I picked up in the Wall Street Journal the other day, which I thought was really interesting, was that I forget which bank. It's one of the banks. You know how all the commotion about giving bonuses out there. So they decided. They said, you know what? This is true. That we're going to give bonuses to our people, but we're going to not only give them cash. We're going to give them back equity in the junk that they stuck us with. So think about this. These people that did these really crazy loans or these crazy deals. It's a true story. These crazy deals, they're saying, great, you know what? You're working at the bank. You're doing well. We're going to give you a piece of that crazy deal. That's your bonus, So now,
that would stress me out.
Well, here's the thing, though. When you think about it, these are the people that got these banks or these big financial institutions into the mess to begin with. So if they were to take this stuff back, the upside is if they were connected, these individuals, that's their bonus, then maybe they would create some sort of a mechanism to get us out of it. I don't know. There's a lot of different things being bounced back and forth. You'll hear this on the show more than not, that the people that got us into the mess, we should try to let them at least maybe get us out of the mess.
Well, we had one of your members from the Finance Forum on a few months back, and he had a solution.
Yeah.
3 pages.
Yeah, I read that.
But he said nobody's listening. Nobody wants to see it. It's too simple.
Not yet. I promised that I would not get into politics until at least minute 15. but it looks like I'm going to hold off for a while. You know what? We've got our guests are piling up right here. The crowd's starting to come in. Let's talk first. I want to introduce someone who is not a stranger to the show. He's been involved with us before. He's a good friend. His name is Brian Miller. Brian has a company called Business Finance USA, and I think we were talking, obviously, when we bring the economy up. And Brian, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
We bring the economy up. Brian, tell us about your company, because you really are satisfying a need for a lot of small businesses in the city.
We've been introducing providers of loans since 1974. We have about 3,300 corporate clients. We've been able to do more than just the normal working capital loans, but accounts receivable loans, purchase order loans, equipment leasing, you name it. And up until about a year and a half ago, we were doing just fine, like many other people, say 2 years ago. But then all the traditional bank sources, at least in Florida, basically dried up. They say they haven't. They say they're doing loans, but they're not doing loans. So this opens the door for us. The only reason we're able to do anything at all is because we have out-of-state funding sources. So right now we have maybe 30, 40 tremendous, just wonderful businesses in the hopper, waiting on approval or funding. And I'm very proud to say that we are probably one of the few people down here that are able to provide any financing whatsoever for small businesses. Now we're talking about $100,000 to maybe $5 million in loans. Businesses that may do up to $20 million a year or only do less than $1 million. So that's a little niche we have, and we can do that.
How do companies find you, Brian? I mean, or do they? Is there a way that you reach out to them?
We have a website. It's businessfinanceusa.biz or .com. We're in Doral. We're in the phone book. 305-597-0037. You want the address?
No, that's okay. I was just curious about that. Tell us a little bit what the process is. I mean, how long does it take for a company to, once they initially make contact with you, how long does it take after that?
Well, from the time that we have all the paperwork we need, and now you need a little more than we used to. It could take a few weeks just to find out if we're able to do it, and then it's anywhere from a week to 10 days or to 4 weeks, depending on the type of loan that it is. Mm-hmm. But we respond pretty well right now.
And what's the collateral that most people have to usually put up? Or
all of the loans now are asset-based loans or asset-based lines of credit. In other words, they would have to be a business that generally would have inventory mm-hmm. or accounts receivable. Mm-hmm. In other words, they sell products or services to other businesses. And I would say equipment, owner-occupied real estate would also fit into that category.
Okay.
The credit of the individual principals is not near as important as it was 2 years ago, but now it's whether or not the business is earning any money, if it's stable, been in business for a couple of years, or if they have wonderful customers. If they have customers, we can do anything for anybody.
And your clients, for the most part, these are the types of clients that have been getting their funding from traditional lending sources prior to this?
Most of them have. This sounds horrible, but it's the truth. The fact of the matter is that many bigger banks, well-known banks you see all the time, are actually cutting the credit lines of the businesses.
Right.
Not because they're bad or anything, only because they're withdrawing.
Yes, sir. I know. I heard a story from a good friend of mine, a good contact, who has a company, and he was with American Express for years, always made his payments, and they just, for no reason, they cut his credit line. There was no reason to do it other than the fact that they just went in and reevaluated.
We have a customer that had a $500,000 line with American Express and now has $80,000. That's happening all over. The banks have the money, though. They just want to make sure that, I guess, that they can pass all the stress tests or something.
I suppose, but explain it to me. I mean, don't banks make money by lending money? I mean, other than bouncing checks, which, I know because my banker thanks me every time he takes me out to lunch. But well, isn't that how they make money? I mean, wouldn't they want to lend the money out?
Well, it should be, but what's happening now is they're getting free money. It makes up for the bad loans. They're not taking care of the assets, and they really don't care. I mean, I hate to say that. A lot of them are my good friends, but they're caught in a quandary.
Right.
And if they're not getting money from the government, then a lot of the other sources are dried up.
Right. Right. That's what we've heard as well.
That's exactly